And good evening. We welcome you back to Digital Domain Park here in Port St. Lucie, the spring training home of the New York Mets and the regular season home of the St. Lucie Mets and the Florida State League. We are, after about a 2-hour, 5-minute rain delay, ready for the 5A state championship game. The American Heritage Patriots from Plantation with a record of 27-4, coached by Bruce Avon. Their opponent, the Ponte Vedra Sharks, 21-8, coached by Tom Stanton. Along with Mark Schambeck, I am Marty Paulman, welcoming you back to Port St. Lucie. Earlier today, we crowned our first state champion for the 2012 FHSAA baseball finals. And, well, no surprise, because Archbishop McCarthy tied a state record. They won their third consecutive state title. The last couple of years, it was in 4A. This year in 6A, as they held off Pace 4-3. So Archbishop McCarthy ties the state record held by Westminster Christian from Miami, who won 3 consecutive state titles in 1996, 97, and 98. Only 2 teams have ever done that. And now Archbishop McCarthy is among them. But tonight we're going to try and crown a champ here in 5A. American Heritage was state champs back in 2008 under the then coach Todd Fitzgerald. State finalists in 2009, losing to Jacksonville Bulls. And they will face this left-hander for Ponte Vedra. Ponte Vedra, only a fourth-year school, making their first appearance in a state baseball championship game under Tom Stanton. They were semifinalists in 2010. Byron Yelverton will get the start. 7-1 this year, his 12th appearance, 9th start. 50 innings pitched, has allowed 16 hits, 5 earned runs, 19 walks, 38 strikeouts, and a .69 ERA. And the American Heritage lineup he will face, leading off playing center field is number 1, Gabe Choa. Batting second, the shortstop, number 5, Brandon Lopez. Hitting third, the catcher, number 8, Zach Collins. Batting fourth, the third base, number 25, Danny Zardon. Hitting fifth, the designated hitter, number 9, Esteban Puerta. Batting sixth in left field, number 2, Brandon Vicens. Hitting seventh, the first baseman, number 24, David Villar. Batting eighth in right field, number 10, Dallas Perez. And hitting ninth, the hero for American Heritage yesterday, the second baseman, number 15, Brandon Diaz. As American Heritage got a 3-run homer from Brandon Diaz in the 8th inning yesterday, when they knocked off Tampa Jesuit, number 1 team in the country, according to a couple of polls, 3-0. In the 5A semifinal, Ponte Vedra had to go 9 innings to beat Green Coast Springs Clay 1-0 in our opening game yesterday. So both teams coming in with shutouts. Matt Deegan pitching a complete game for Ponte Vedra yesterday. And for American Heritage, Sean Anderson went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, got the win, as Dominic Mancini pitched the 8th inning to get the save. So both teams enter off shutouts. Not a lot of hitting for either team yesterday. American Heritage actually left 11 on base, and then got the 3-run home run in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, the infield is very dry. The tarps have been on. We had a little rain delay, obviously a 2-hour rain delay. Don't be surprised if Gabe Arochogia drops down a bunt right here to test everybody early on.
And he was 0 for 3 yesterday. Did walk. It was hit by a pitch out of stolen base as well. And pretty good crowd, loud crowd for as we start at 9:14 Eastern. There's a called strike on the outside corner from the left-hander Yelverton. And it's 0-1. We're scheduled to start at 7:05. Really, after the 6A game ended, right after that, the sky started to darken. Lightning hit right before 7 o'clock. That started to delay, and then it really started pouring about 7:30. Rained hard for about 30 to 45 minutes. So that caused our delays. The count is 1-1. The lefty-lefty matchup, that's outside. Now 2-1 to Ochoa. Defensively for Ponte Vedra, the catcher first base is Ryan Tiefer. The second baseman, Max Miller. At shortstop, Nate Rakos. The third baseman is Brett Poling. In the outfield, Perry Orth in right, Jackson Johnson in left. The center fielder is
Jake Jacob.
Jake Jacob. No, yeah, it's Jake Jacob. But it's hit into right field, bounces off the glove of Perry Orth, and that will be a leadoff hit. And Alex Willich behind the plate. Jacob is in center, and on the mound, Yelverton. But there is a single where Ochoa goes right off the glove of the right fielder, Perry Orth. So leadoff hit for American Heritage.
Well, Yelverton got off with the right start with a strike, then fell behind 3-1, got a little predictable, came in with the fastball, drove it into right field for the first base hit of the game and our first base runner of the game.
Tom Stanton, the head coach at Ponte Vedra, the only head coach they've had in 4 years of the program, says Byron Yelverton, sneaky left-hander. Says he throws 79 to 81, but looks faster. A little bit of deception as the first pitch to Brandon Lopez is a ball 1-0.
Well, talking to the Nice coach up there in that Ponte Vedra area, it's an exploding area population-wise. They split the area, and both teams are excellent. This year, Ponte Vedra making it all the way here to the championship game.
The other new school in that area, Creekside, was a regional semifinalist. Hit up the middle, could be two. On to shortstop for one. On to first in time. Ball handled up the middle by Max Miller. He flips it to the shortstop, Rocos, and on to first. A 4-6-3 double play, and Lopez is out and then erases the leadoff runner, so 2 out, nobody on. Another tailor-made double play for Ponte Vedra. They can do that. We saw this yesterday against Clay.
Pitcher's best friend for 2 reasons. Not only do you get 2 outs and erase a base runner, but it keeps your pitch count down if you're trying to go the distance. Extra inning game in the semis, the bullpen's a little thin for Ponte Vedra.
Well, Deegan went the entire 9 innings, but Ponte Vedra in 4 regional games as the first pitch to Zach Collins, the catcher, is in for a strike 0-1. Ponte Vedra went 9 innings in the regional quarterfinal against Paxson, winning 3-2. 9 innings in the regional final against Pensacola, West Florida, winning 2-1, and 9 innings yesterday in the state semifinal, beating Clay 1-0. It's 0-2 quickly to Zach Collins. So Ponte Vedra is no stranger to go in the distance here.
Yelverton in a groove already.
0-2. A little bit outside.
Good 0-2 pitch. That was off the plate. You don't want to get anything too fat, so he was trying to get hitter Zach Collins to extend his strike zone.
And the 1-2 on the way is fouled back, and that'll make it into the seats. And that remains 1-2. American Heritage state champs in 2008. Plantation American Heritage. State finalists in 2009. The 1-2 is hit foul.
That ball is going to kick on the field. We'll have to get it off the field before we can continue.
Perry Orth will pick it up down that right field line. And it remains 1-2.
Hugging the line, first baseman's within, he could fall over and touch the baseline.
The 1-2 on the way is up high, 2-2. The crowd is behind both dugouts here. It's definitely cooled off, about 15, 20 degrees cooler. Now 71 degrees being shown here. The window is completely gone after this rain. 2-2 is fouled out of play, and it remains 2-2. Zach Collins in the semifinal yesterday, 1 for 3, also walked. Not a lot of hitting on either side. American Heritage did have 7 hits yesterday. They left 11 on. 2-2 just a little bit high and outside. It's full out 3-2.
Collins doing a great job of battling during this at bat. Fouled off a few pitches. Worked the count back to even, full count.
So 3-2 is fouled off again over to the right side by the Heritage dugout. Tom Stanton was on the staff at Episcopal in 2006. They started the year 6-13, won 13 straight, and a state championship that year. A couple years ago, Ponte Vedra in their second season made it to the state semis, losing to Tampa Jesuit 19-0. Hit the first. That's an easy play over there for the Ponte Vedra first baseman, Ryan Tiefer. He steps on the bag himself, and that'll end the top of the first for American Heritage. They get a leadoff hit. That runner erased on a double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the first of our 5A state championship game. American Heritage nothing. Ponte Vedra coming to bat here on the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 60 seconds.
Sports Network is the official cable partner of the FHSAA. Tune in to Bright House Channel 47. See the 2012 baseball championship games in classes 2A through 8A live. That's Bright House Network Channel 47 and HD Channel 1147. Also, check out the baseball page on FHSAA.org for a list of championship game replays.
Welcome back to Digital Domain Park here in Port St. Lucie as we go to the bottom of the first, and Ponte Vedra coming to the plate, no score with American Heritage in our 5A state championship game. And here in the lineup for the Ponte Vedra Sharks, who are 21-8, coached by Tom Stanton. Leading off playing center field, number 3, Jake Jacob. Hitting second and left field, number 25, Jackson Johnson. Batting third and right field, number 20, Perry Orth. Hitting fourth, the second baseman is number 17, Max Miller. Hitting fifth at shortstop, number 8, Nate Rokaz. Batting sixth, the DH, number 13, Walker Scheller. Batting seventh, the first baseman is number 24, Ryan Tiefer. In the eighth spot, the catcher, number 15, Alex Willich. And batting ninth and playing third base, is number 4, Brett Poling. On the right-hander, Alex Siebold will get the start for American Heritage. 8-0 with 1 save, his 14th appearance, 11th start. 46 innings pitched, allowed 38 hits, 12 earned runs, 19 walks, 63 strikeouts, and a 1.83 ERA for Alex Siebold, who, trying to find out what class he's. I don't have the roster with me, but he will get the start in the state championship game, a big right-hander for the American Heritage Patriots. We're talking before the break, Ponte Vedra made it to the state semis 2 years ago in their second year as a program. And really caught fire in the district tournament, made it here, and they ran into Tampa Jesuit, a team that was nationally ranked 19-0 in 5 innings. And Tom Stanton took that as a learning experience. This team has grown up the last 2 years. And probably glad they aren't playing Jesuit, but still, they would have given Jesuit a much better game, and they're hoping to win a state title here in their 4th year as a program, 4th year as a school.
Well, I'm sure many of these players that are on this ball club were participants in that 19-0 game.
And most of them, I believe, are. As you look at Ponte Vedra's roster, Jacob, the center fielder, will lead it off. He's a senior, so he was on that team a couple years ago. Rokaz, a senior. Matt Deegan, a junior. Perry Orth, a senior. So a lot of these guys. Tiefer, a junior. Yelverton, a junior. 1-0 the count to Jacob. Ponte Vedra had 5 hits yesterday in the win against Clay. Hit up the middle into center field for a base hit. Jacob was 1 for 4 yesterday, a leadoff single for Ponte Vedra here in the bottom of the first against Siebold.
Well, both teams attack right away, get a leadoff runner on base. American Heritage did not elect to bunt him over and paid the price, hit into a double play. We'll see right here if Ponte Vedra runs, which they do have wheels. That is one of their strengths, a very fast team. Or if they actually bunt, move him up sacrifice ways.
Jackson Johnson, the left fielder, who was substituted for in the semifinal game yesterday. They will hit with the runner at first and nobody out. Johnson was 1 for 2 with a walk. Left-handed hitter waits for the pitch from Siebold, and here we are. It's fouled off. Out of play. Look out over there.
That answered my question. He's hacking away.
Into the empty seats off to our left. It's 0-1. Defensively for American Heritage, David Villar at first base. Brandon Diaz is the second baseman. At third base, Danny Zardon. The shortstop, Brandon Lopez. And the outfield, Gabe Aurichichoa. The left fielder, Brandon Bisons. The right fielder is Dallas Perez. Behind the plate, Zach Collins. Alex Siebold is on the mound. 0-1 outside. It's 1-1.
A bluff on the bases right there. Trying to get a read on what the catcher's going to do. Zach Collins hitting in the 3-hole, playing catcher. Kind of the heart and soul of this American Heritage team.
Siebold looks in. The 1-1 is in for a strike. 1-2 right down the middle. We started about 2 hours and 10 minutes late due to lightning and rain. Schedule started at 7:05. We started at 9:15. So a little late night baseball for a state championship here in Port St. Lucie.
Marty Siebold seems to have good life on his fastball. I don't know if he's going to throw any kind of breaking pitch here.
1-2. That was a breaking pitch, but it missed a little bit high.
Left it up.
And it's 2-2, and the American Heritage rooters wanted that strike, but not called one by the home plate umpire. They crew out of Fort Walton Beach area.
The ball probably didn't bite as much as he wanted it to.
Throw to first. Not much of a move over by Siebold.
That was kind of a, yeah, I know you're over there move. Not so much trying to pick him off, but just keeping him honest.
2-2 the count. Jacob is at first with that leadoff single for Ponte Vedra. Bottom of the first, no score. Just underway in our 5A state championship game between Plantation American Heritage and Ponte Vedra. This pitch outside, and now it's full 3-2.
Both of those last two pitches look like off speed. Both missing high, not getting a good release point.
Here you see Jackson Johnson, the left-hander.
See if he puts the runner in motion, full count here. There he goes.
There he goes, and it's hit
Fouled
foul.
away.
How to play off to the left. That'll make it down to the
Jacob will come back and do it again, perhaps, on the next pitch.
See those Ponte Vedra uniforms? That is Columbia blue and white. Very sleek looking, I'd say. I guess that's the same color the Detroit Lions are considered Columbia blue.
Shimmer.
Yeah, they really do.
That shimmer jersey.
So another full count pitch due to Johnson. A 3-2. Runner stays this time. There's ball 4. So Seabold loses Johnson after getting ahead of him. And now we have first and second. Nobody out for Ponte Vedra, and that'll bring up Perry Orth, the right fielder. Orth had a tough day yesterday. Coming into the semifinals, he was hitting .385 with 8 RBIs. Yesterday, he struck out and hit the 2 double plays. He was 0 for 4. And we'll see if that luck changes for Perry Orth. He played quarterback for the Ponte Vedra football team this year, which made it to the regional finals. Their first ever playoff appearance in football. Right fielder for the baseball team. Pretty good sized lead at second for, and there's a drive down the left field line. It's going to get out of play, but Orth just a little bit ahead of that one as sliding, but unable to come up with his Bisons and left. It's 0-1. Good sized lead for Jake Jacob at second base that time.
Well, Orth is a tools type player. He's got plenty of pop in his bat, good wheels, tough guy to double up. Perfect 3-hole hitter.
So here's the 0-1. It'll be outside, 1-1. Yeah, swing and a miss. Nope. Yep, it was held on to by the catcher. It's 1-2.
Remind me, Marty, do we know where Orth is committed to play next year after high school?
I do not. I will look that up for you. Preferred walk-on at South Carolina as a quarterback. 1-2. Ooh, just a little bit outside. It's 2-2. So he will go play football for Steve Spurrier.
The old ball coach.
Yeah, the old ball coach. Had a good career at Ponte Vedra as a quarterback. In fact,
2-2 pitch on the way here.
Cousin was a quarterback at Fletcher there in Jacksonville, Nip-2 Beach.
So we're going to test my theory to see how tough he is to double up.
He got him again. Orth has hit a double play again. He hit the 2 yesterday. This time he hits the ball right at the shortstop. And Lopez turns into the second baseman. Diaz on to first, just gets Orth. 6-4-3, and now 2 outs as the runner. Jacob moves to third. So a big play there for Seabold. Gets the ground ball double play. And Orth having a tough couple games here. So he's hitting his 3rd double play in 2 games.
Excellent turn by the Brandons. There are 3 Brandons in the starting lineup for American Heritage. 2 of them at the cornerstone up the middle. Brandon Lopez, Brandon Diaz turning it right there.
Max Miller, the second baseman, takes a strike, 0-1. So the runner at third with 2 outs. Miller yesterday walked in the 9th, later came home to score in the sacrifice fly by Walker Scheller for the only run in the game as Ponte Vedra got that run across to win 1-0. The 0-1 to Miller is down the middle for a strike, 0-2. Miller also saved a possible run earlier in the game for Clay with a nice play up the middle at second base. But now he's behind 0-2 as now Seabold seems to be finding his rhythm here.
He's also finding his breaking ball. That ball was in the right spot down low.
0-2. Yeah, swing and a miss. Miller swings at one in the dirt, and they'll have to complete the throw to first. They will, as the throw made down there by Collins, and that will complete the first strikeout of the game for Alex Seabold. So a good start for Ponte Vedra. They get a single and a walk, but a double play erases 1 runner, and they leave a runner at third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left on base. We now head to the second. No score between American Heritage and Ponte Vedra in this 5A state championship game in the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 1 minute. Marty Paulman and Mark Schambach back here in Port St. Lucie at Digital Domain Park. We go to the second inning, and well, both teams hitting the double plays in the first. American Heritage got a leadoff single from Eric Ochoa, and then Brandon Lopez hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Ponte Vedra, Jake Jacobs singles. Jackson Johnson walks, but Perry Orth hits into a 6-4-3 double play, so that ruined both innings, and Ponte Vedra leaves a runner at third. We have no scores. We go to the top of the second. Denny Zardon, the third baseman for Plantation American Heritage, will lead off top of the second inning. Earlier today in Class 6A, it was Archbishop McCarthy out of Southwest Ranches edging Pace 4-3 to win their third consecutive state baseball title. There's a strike 0-1 to Denny Zardon. Now Justin Verlander was flirting with another no-hitter tonight, lost it with 1 out in the ninth. There's a pitch just outside, 1-1.
Yelverton got ahead with a strike on the first batter, then fell behind 3-1, gave up the base knock.
Now the 1-1 on the way from the lefty is fouled off to our right out of play. It's 1-2. I thought you guys had one in the booth here last night. A foul ball heading your way. Must have just missed. That was to the left.
I think a couple booths over maybe.
1-2 the count. Outside, it's 2-2. We've been close here. Mike Radout and I are working here for our fourth year. The first year we were here, we were in the booth to our left, and somebody hit a fly ball. Ball right at us. Mike, I told Mike, look up, Mike. He sticks his bare hand out and catches it right in his hand. Fly ball hit into center. Coming in is Jacob. He'll make a running catch. Good play on the run for Jacob. 1 out. As Zardon flies out to center. Never do those bare-handed catches. So with 1 out, here is Esteban Puerta, the designated hitter. Puerta yesterday in the semifinals was 0 for 4. He struck out twice against Lance McCullers, who struck out 9 for Jesuit, 6 innings. And the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0.
Yelverton not overpowering, but he is got a sneaky delivery. Hides the ball well.
And that's right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Saw Deegan yesterday really dominate for the most part. Didn't really strike out a lot of guys. He had 5 strikeouts, but really wasn't in trouble that much either as the pitch misses outside, 2-1.
Here's a good look at those shimmer Columbia blue jerseys.
2-1 is hit foul down the right field line. That'll get out of play over to the right side. It's 2-2.
I think the equipment apparel manufacturers call that the dazzle material.
Dazzle, shimmer, dazzle,
something like that.
Now Matt Deegan, the junior, yesterday pitching 9 shutout innings. Now Yelverton, another junior, coming back today. The 2-2. That's right down the middle for strike 3. It gets away from Willich, and Willich, did he tag him? Nope. No. Well, yeah, he did. Well, after that, Puerta ran out of the baseline, so...
I think Puerta knew that he tagged him, but the umpire wasn't certain, so...
Alex Willich trying to tag Puerta on the way by. It is a strikeout, first of the game for Yelverton, quickly 2 outs.
Only difference there is instead of the catcher getting the put out, the first baseman got the put out.
So 2 outs. Here's Brandon Bison's the left fielder. Way up high, ball 1-0. Bison's yesterday was 2 for 3 and scored one of those runs. Also had a walk, had a single and a double for American Heritage. That's right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. A 1-hitter for Verlander, 12 strikeouts. It's the Pirates. Lost the no-hitter with 1 out in the ninth, which I believe would have been his third. It's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. So the Overton working quickly after giving that leadoff single to Eric Ochoa is retired now 5 in a row. 2 out, nobody on. The 1-2 is popped up down the right side, coming over, and it's going to get out of play as
Trying to figure out who
was
Yelverton
gonna
reminds me of. A little bit of his delivery is sort of like a Cliff Lee.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I was getting from it, too. When you look at him, as you see Yelverton there. 1-2 remains the count, and the pitch. A little bit outside. Willits tried to bring it back in, but it's 2-2.
Yelverton's fastball looks good, but he still hasn't found the feel, got the feel of his changeup yet.
And
there's a good one.
Just outside, and it's out full. 3-2.
Ahead in the count, even in the count. That's a good location. You don't want to give in here now with 2 outs. Well.
And now the 3-2 on the way. That's ball 4. Yelverton lost him. So first walk of the game, as Bisons will go to first with 2 outs. That'll bring up the first baseman, David Villar. Just missed on a couple, and that pitch was outside for ball 4.
Well, normally I would have said until yesterday, you don't have to worry about 2-out walk. You know he's going to hit the ball out of the yard, throw it over the plate. But when your number 9 hole hitter wins a game with a 3-run homer, then all bets are off. You got to pitch everyone carefully.
Not only did he hit a 3-run homer, he hit that one well over the fence in left field. Really was a no-doubter. Villar, that fouls that one off just to our right. That will.
Maybe when Diaz comes up, we can get a camera shot of where that ball left the park, because that was a worthy of praise shot.
A high wall beyond the left field wall there, and it went over that. So I think
pretty much over the Spring Hill sign out there in left.
It's 3:38 down the lines here, 4:10 to straightaway center. There's no marking over there how far that is in that area, but it was a shot probably at least 373, maybe close to 400. There's the line, and as you see that second wall, that's behind, maybe a couple 5 feet behind the fence over that Spring Hill Suite sign in left field.
The dimensions here, 338 down both lines, 410 to dead center.
1-1 is outside, 2-1.
We hit a little bump in the road here for Yelverton.
Yeah, all of a sudden when we jinxed him again. But that's the only home run of the tournament so far. And Diaz hit that. He's on deck, by the way. Hit that one yesterday in the top of the 8th in a scoreless game for American Heritage. 2-1 the count with 2 outs and the runner at first. This is actually, Dallas Perez is on deck. Little throw to first. Diaz is doing
pump fake by the runner might have drawn that throw. Trying to get a look at Yelverton's move. Two outs. Good chance he might go on first move right here.
Looks to first, looks back to first, and now the 2-1 is fouled up again. That one will make the seats right in front of us. It's 2-2.
Souvenir right there. Marty, are they allowing the fans to keep the souvenirs that leave the park?
I believe so, unless I'm mistaken. Pretty sure like any other baseball park, you can keep the foul ball. I'll have to check it out. 2-2 the count to the American Heritage first baseman, Villar. And the pitch. Swinging and a miss, strike 3. Yelverton blows one right by David Villar. 2 strikeouts in the inning, as Villar yesterday struck out 3 times. He strikes out his first at bat here in the state championship game. So a walk, 1 left on for American Heritage in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We head now to the bottom of the second. No score between American Heritage and Ponte Vedra in our 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 1 minute. We go to the bottom of the second, and Ponte Vedra coming up with 5, 6, and 7. No score between American Heritage and Ponte Vedra in our 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. We are at Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie. This is the spring training home of the New York Mets. Has been, I think, the 70s they played in Port St. Lucie, and this ballpark opened in 1988, has been renovated since. And the 4th year we've had the FHSAA baseball finals here in Port St. Lucie. It's been in Sarasota, at Ed Smith Stadium. It's been in Tampa, at Legends Field, now Steinbrenner Field. And now 4 years here in Port St. Lucie as well. Where else have they played these finals? Yep, Legends Field in Tampa for many years. Baseball City. They used to have Baseball City over near Haines City.
Boardwalk and baseball.
That's right. Remember that as a kid, too. There's a strike to Nate Rokaz, the shortstop. And it's 0-1. Now, Kansas City Royals trained there for a while, and now nothing there. No more baseball field, no park in that area. Swing and a miss.
There is a Dick's Sporting Goods in that same location in a shopping mall now.
Yeah, they tore down the baseball stadium and the park. I remember that. It was quite bustling with baseball there for a while in the late 80s, early 90s. 0-2 the count and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Seabold with a very impressive start to the second. He has back-to-back strikeouts, 1 out.
This is a bad sign for Ponte Vedra if he's found his touch on that breaking ball. Looks like a little cutter, late breaking fastball running away from right-handed hitters.
So with 1 out, there's a drive hit by Walker Scheller into right field on the first pitch, but moving over and making the catch is Dallas Perez, and quickly 2 outs as Walker Scheller, who drove in the only run of the game yesterday with a sacrifice fly, flies out to right, 2 outs. And here is Ryan Tiefer, the first baseman. Tiefer. Tiefer's the first pitch foul off to the right, out of play. He was 0 for 3 yesterday, struck out twice.
Quite a contrast from the earlier game today where the pitchers were nibbling all around, having a difficult time getting ahead. These pitchers are both going right after the hitters.
A little bit outside, it's 1-1.
Good fastball off the plate right there. Showing good velocity. Nothing fat in the middle of the plate so far.
1-1 is chopped to short, backing up, and a long throw across. Just got Tiefer. Nice throw.
Strong arm from Lopez.
Yeah.
He backed up on that ball, then came and got it. Made a nice throw across.
Lopez throws out Tiefer. 1-2-3. Ponte Vedra goes very quickly in the bottom of the second. We go to the third in our 5A state championship game. No score between American Heritage and Ponte Vedra here on the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 1 minute.
Please visit c2cschools.com, the official sports management system of the FHSAA, for all of your school and sports information. C2C provides parents, students, and fans with schedules, scores, rosters, pictures, driving directions, and much more. Visit your school on c2cschools.com today.
Welcome back to welcome back to Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie. We had a factoid we're going to get to, but we go to the top of the third. No score. Both teams with 1 hit through 2 innings. Both teams have left a runner on base, and American Heritage has had a runner in each inning. A single by Everett Cho in the first was erased on a double play, and then a walk by Bisons in the second. He was left stranded. 2 strikeouts so far for Byron Yelverton, and he has walked 1 on 1 hit. 8-9-1 coming up for American Heritage. Dallas Perez, the right fielder, will lead it off in the top of the third. Dallas Perez 1 for 3 with a run scored yesterday. Brandon Diaz on deck was the player at the 3-run homer yesterday. Hit in the hole, and that'll get between the third baseman and the shortstop into left field for a leadoff single, just past Brett Polling's glove. And there's Perez with a leadoff hit in the top of the third. Second hit of the game for American Heritage. Here's Brandon Diaz.
We don't have a roster with stats for the year for American Heritage in front of us. Do not know how many home runs Brandon Diaz has hit this year, but none were larger than his 3-run shot last night.
I actually do have their stats. I apologize. They're not in the program. They do have a printout of them, and that was his second home run of the year according to their stats. And RBI now he has 12. Bunts it, and that's going to be a problem. It gets
that's a bunt base hit right there.
There's a single. First and second, nobody out. Diaz bunting this time, and nobody really expecting it. And once it gets past Yelverton, no chance for Max Miller at second to make that play. So
definitely a bunt for a base hit. He squared late and pushed it past the left-handed pitcher right at the second baseman, but soft enough that there was no play.
So here we go, American Heritage with a chance. First and second, nobody out, back to the top of the order in Eric Ochoa. Singled in the first, was erased on the double play. Lefty-lefty matchup. And he bunts again. Yelverton will have to make the play ooh, it's too high. It takes Miller off the base. Miller covering first was there, but Yelverton with that throw a little bit quicker than he wanted to be, too high, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. All of a sudden, a big chance here for the Patriots, and now Tom Stanton to the mound. That will be an error on the pitcher.
Now everyone in the infield coming to conference together.
So we have our first big opportunity in this 5A state championship game. Ponte Vedra left a runner at third in the first inning, but with nobody out, American Heritage here in the top of the third. The base is loaded, and two of those balls didn't leave the infield.
Well, I got to believe Coach Stanton's. He's got his arm on the back shoulder of his starting pitcher. He's telling him, hey, settle down. You're okay. You're throwing the ball well. Let's get off the mound quickly. We got to play at the plate on a force. Take the ball in the infield, any ground ball. Let's turn two. We're giving up the run right here and turn a double play, whichever direction it takes us. Corners are in. Middle infielders are back playing for two in the middle.
Tom Stanton again on that 2006 Episcopal team from Jacksonville that won the state title in 3A. Started 6-13, won their last 13 in a row. Finished 19-13 that year, and now trying to get Ponte Vedra to a state title as a head coach. First pitch, strike to Brandon Lopez, who he would do a double play back in the first. After the leadoff hit by Eric Ochoa here, the bases are low with nobody out. Ponte Vedra might take a double play here and just give up one run. The 0-1 is in the dirt, and it's even 1-1.
Well, the tough thing for a left-handed pitcher, if he goes from the windup, which he is once he starts his windup, that runner from third can take off, and he very rarely can see him to be able to throw the pitch up and away.
1-1, and it's right down the middle for a strike 1 and 2. And of course, if you're Byron Yelverton, you'll take a strikeout here as well.
American Heritage looking for the big inning. Byron Yelverton looking for the strikeout.
Bases loaded, nobody out. The 1-2 in the dirt. Good stop by Willich. Stays in front of it. It's now even 2-2. Zach Collins, the catcher, waits on deck.
That block not only saved a run, but kept the double play in order.
There you see Willich saving a run there possibly for Ponte Vedra. So 2-2. And the pitch on the way is low ball 3. Now one more bad ball, a bad pitch, and Heritage takes the lead. 3-2 the count. Bases loaded, nobody out. Brandon Lopez at the plate. Here's the 3-2 from Yelverton. Hit down the left field line. Foul. Just foul.
Ball had just enough hook that it went a couple feet foul after it passed the bag.
Easily would have brought in 2 runs and possibly 3, although Jackson Johnson was over there quickly down the line. But instead, it's just a strike, or not a strike, it's just a foul ball, so it's still full 3-2. So another payoff pitch from Yelverton coming to Lopez. And it's ball 4. And American Heritage takes the lead 1-0. RBI for Brandon Lopez on the bases loaded walk. Still nobody out. The bases remain loaded for the catcher, Zach Collins.
Well, a ground ball single through the hole. Back-to-back bunt singles. Well, one was a single, one was an error on the throw by Yelverton to first base. And a walk.
So here is Collins, who was out to first. There's a drive into right field, and that's going to hook and head, I believe, foul. No, it's right to foul pole.
That is a
It's
fair
a grand
ball.
slam. My apologies. I thought that ball was heading foul. Instead, it's 4 runs for American Heritage. Right off the foul pole down the right field line. You couldn't have placed it any better for Zach Collins. His 4th home run of the year, which takes the team lead, and all of a sudden, it's 5-0. How about that? That was definitely high. The only question was it fair? It had the distance as well, and it looked like it was hooking, but instead, right off the foul pole, and all of a sudden, American Heritage has 5 on the board with still nobody out here at the top of the 3rd.
American Heritage living large with the long ball in this tournament. 2nd home run of the tournament. The only 2 home runs hit in the tournament so far. This is the 6th game.
Yeah, 3-run homer yesterday.
They've been timely home runs too. A 3-run shot and now a grand slam.
They won the game in the 8th yesterday, and now it gives them a 5-0 lead here in the 3rd. So a grand slam for Zach Collins. Here's Danny Zardock. He pops it up into center field, and coming in, Jacob's going to make the play. And that's 1 out, and finally, Yelverton gets an out. This has been a disastrous inning for the Ponte Vedra Sharks. Perez singled. Diaz with a bunt single. Arachichoa reaches on the error by the pitcher. Lopez walks with the bases loaded, ran 1 run, and then Zach Collins hits one off the right field fair pole, we call it because it's fair, to make it 5-0, a grand slam. All of a sudden, Mark, we have runs. We didn't have money yesterday when the two of us were here. An explosion by American Heritage here. That's 0-2 now to Esteban Puerta.
More runs scored than we saw in, I think, 2 combined games.
That's right. Yesterday, 4 runs between the 2 of them, and they both all came in extra innings. Now 5 in this inning. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Puerta strikes out for the 2nd time. 3rd strikeout for Yelverton, and now there are 2 outs. And then Bison's the left fielder, and the 8th batter of the inning will come to the plate. And we'll see how Ponte Vedra reacts to this inning, because Ponte Vedra doesn't score a lot of runs. In fact, in the regional tournament, 3, 4, 2, and 1 in their 4 wins, which adds up to 10. That's an average of about 2.5 runs a game. They scored 4 and 7 in the district tournament. They are definitely a team predicated on pitching, as it counts 1-1 to Bison's. In fact, their highest run total of the season, they scored 10 runs on 3 occasions.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if this takes the running game away from Ponte Vedra too. That's a big part of their game. Falling down 5 early. Put a damper on those plans.
So 2-1 the count to Bison's. There is a right-hander warming up in the Ponte Vedra bullpen. It's popped up on the infield. Max Miller, the second baseman, makes the play. That will end the top of the 3rd for American Heritage. But the Patriots get 5 runs on 3 hits. The big blow, the grand slam by Zach Collins. 1 big error in the inning. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd in this 5A state championship game. Our score, American Heritage 5 and Ponte Vedra nothing. You're watching the 2012 FHSAA Baseball Finals here on the FHSAA Network.
Of the FHSAA, Gatorade Thirst Quencher, is it in you? Pinch Penny Pools, patios and spas, the perfect authority, your baseball authority. Balfour, makers of official FHSAA championship rings. Glossy Finish, the official photographer of the FHSAA. Field Turf, the ultimate surface experience. Florida Virtual School, online education, anytime, any place, any path, any pace. Sun Sports at FSM Florida, the exclusive television homes to the FHSAA Finals. Bright House Sports Network, the official cable partner of the FHSAA. And Batten, who supply the official baseball for the 2012 FHSAA Baseball Finals.
Is that a home run or what?
Welcome back to Port St. Lucie. Marty Paulman here along with Mark Schanbach, and we've had a veritable explosion of runs in the top of the third by American Heritage. 5 capped by the grand slam by Zach Collins. Went right off the foul, what we'll call it the fair pole, like I said, in right field. And it's 5-0 as American Heritage scored 3 runs in the 8th yesterday on a 3-run home run by Brandon Diaz. Only runs of the game, and Ponte Vedra only scored 1 run yesterday in their semifinal against Clay. That came in the bottom of the 9th. So we're looking for somebody to get some runs, and it was American Heritage as they had a bases-loaded walk to Brandon Lopez and then the grand slam by Zach Collins. So Ponte Vedra has some work to do as Alex Willich, the catcher, leads off for the Sharks in the bottom of the 3rd. Alex Siebold now with a 5-run lead, and the first pitch is popped up on the infield. And actually now coming in as the right fielder, taking control, and Dallas Perez makes the catch for out number 1.
Third baseman, number 4, Brett Poland.
Now, almost 10 o'clock here tonight at Digital Domain Park. As Brett Poling hits the first pitch right back. Well, there's nobody covering first, so Siebold will take it himself. That was interesting. And he looked over there, and David Villar had moved over to try and make the play, and Siebold then realized, I got to beat this guy to the bag. So he did it himself in the second out.
He put it in another gear and made it to the bag just in time to get out of the way of the runner.
Interesting, the first baseman just kind of vacated. So 2 outs quickly, and there's Jake Jacob, who singled for Ponte Vedra's only hit, leading off in the first.
I think Siebold is smelling blood in the water and is going for the kill shot here. He's trying to get a quick 3 up, 3 down inning.
That's in for a strike, 1-1.
Just the one hit in the ball game, a leadoff hit for Ponte Vedra.
And it's hit to short.
Smooth.
And easy play for Lopez. He is smooth over at short. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Siebold in the bottom of the 3rd as Ponte Vedra goes nothing across. We go to the 4th. 5-0 American Heritage leading Ponte Vedra in our 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA Network. Back in 1 minute.
Visit BecomeAnOfficial.org to learn how you can register as a contest official with the Florida High School Athletic Association. GlossyFinish.com wants to remind you that you can see all the action photos of your team from your seat. Using your iPhone, turn on your Wi-Fi settings, choose Photo Viewer, and follow the directions.
Welcome back to Port St. Lucie. We go to the top of the 4th. Marty Paulman, Mark Schanbach with you as American Heritage leading Ponte Vedra 5-0 as we will crown our 2nd state champion to this 2012 FHSAA Baseball Finals. Earlier today in 6A, it was the Archbishop McCarthy Mavericks out of Southwest Ranches in Broward County. They held off Pace over near Pensacola in the Panhandle 4-3, and Archbishop McCarthy ties a state record 3 consecutive state titles, 4A, the last 2 years in 2010 and 2011, 6A in 2012, and they tie Westminster Christian from Miami, who won 3 in a row from 96 to 98 under a well-known coach, Rich Hoffman. Won those 3 straight titles at Westminster. So tonight we'll crown a 5A state champion, and tomorrow we'll move over to the semifinals in 7A and 8A beginning at 10 a.m. 4 more games tomorrow here from Port St. Lucie. First pitch to David Villar is a strike from Yelverton, and 0-1. Villar struck out in the second. American Heritage, all 5 of their runs coming in the top of the third, as Zach Collins hit a grand slam off the right field fair pole to cap that inning. 1-1 the count to Villar. 7, 8, and 9 up for the Patriots of American Heritage in the top of the fourth. 1-1 is hit high in the air. This is going to go into right field, and coming in is Orth will make the catch in fair territory. 1 out as Villar pops up to right. So 1 out. Here is Dallas Perez, who singled and scored the last inning.
He started the rally.
Yes, he did, leading off the third with a single. The first 5 batters reached in the third, and all 5 came home to score. Up and in to Perez, 1-0.
Understandably, Ponte Vedra's crowd is a little subdued at the moment.
Well, not to mention it's 5 minutes after 10, but yeah, they are down 5 runs. As the pitch misses low 2-0. We started at about 9:15, about 2 hours and 10 minutes late due to rain and lightning in the area. As the 2-0 on the way from Yelverton outside 3-0. We thought yesterday was going to be the day. There was 70% chance of rain. We got all 4 games in yesterday on time, no delays. And then tonight, luckily there were only 2 games tonight, so we did get the 6A game in, and about 20-30 minutes after that game ended, lightning came into the area. There's ball 4. Perez walks on 4 straight pitches. That's the 3rd walk now for Yelverton, and he'll go to second with 1 out. He's reached twice in the last 2 innings.
Well, Marty, right-hander Nathan Allen has been throwing down in the bullpen.
They're going to go to him.
This could be a call to the bullpen right here.
It is. Tom Stanton already made the motion to bring in the right-hander, and I guess he thought Yelverton may have run out of gas after the 3rd inning, so we will make a pitching change to Nathan Allen, who's a senior right-hander. Yelverton rolled through the first 2 innings, but could not get out of the 3rd. He ends up going 3 1/3. Allows 4 hits, so far 5 runs. Runner at first belongs to him. 3 walks.
Marty, what do we know about Nathan Allen here?
Well, I'll tell you in just a second, as Nathan Allen will enter.
We know he's a senior, 5'11".
Yes, we do. Nathan Allen was the starting shortstop 2 years ago. And according to Tom Stanton, tremendous changeup. This, by the way, as a staff, this team has a 1.35 team ERA, and obviously that'll go up a little bit tonight. Yelverton coming in, his ERA was right around 0.69. Allen is 4-1. This is his 10th appearance. He has 6 starts this year. 34 2/3 innings pitched has allowed him 22 hits, 5 earned runs, 7 walks, 25 strikeouts, and a 1.00 ERA. So Yelverton 3 1/3, 4 hits, so far 5 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and he allowed 1 home run. So Brandon Diaz, the number 9 hitter, singled, scored in the 3rd. He's going to bat with a runner at first and 1 out against Nathan Allen.
Well, I wonder if they'll try to tag on 1 run at a time from here on out to pad that lead, or if they'll just swing away. With 1 out, they may even put the runner in motion. My factoid earlier, Marty, was that Derek Jeter became the first Yankee ever.
This is interesting.
To accumulate 50 base hits in the season's first 30 ball games.
That actually is an amazing stat to me. Even more amazing, I thought, was Derek Jeter, the first Yankee to get 3,000 hits. As many Yankees as have played, as many great players, they just never lasted that long. Babe Ruth was with Boston for, 6-7 years, played about 10-11 years for the Yankees. Luke Garrick square cut short. There's a pitch outside. Throw to second, not nearly in time. Easy stolen base for Perez as Diaz takes the first pitch for a ball 1-0. And it's amazing. Mickey Mantle with all his injuries that he had. Joe DiMaggio. Derek Jeter, the first Yankee to get for 3,000 hits and then 50 hits in the first 30 games. If anyone ever doubts Derek Jeter, I know there's a lot of guys who think, well, look at the numbers. That guy is just, he's got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's just no doubt about it.
Hands down, I agree. And I'm not even a Yankee fan.
I'm not either. But I have to give credit where credit is due. It's 2-0. To Diaz. Runner at second and 1 out. There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
First strike thrown by Allen.
Pretty good sized lead at second there for Perez, and then Allen looks the runner back and timeout called.
Just making observations here in this 5-0 game. You got every single one of the Ponte Vedra players on the field wear the Clemson cut long pants. The hitter at the plate and on deck are wearing the old school, pant leg up to the knee, showing a lot of sock look. It seems to be it's an all or nothing thing nowadays. Every player runs their own style.
A little bit low, 3-1.
When I played at Valdosta, the Clemson cut was nowhere near as popular as it is now. We actually were one of the few other schools in the Southeast wearing them all the way down to the ankle. It was great. You didn't have to worry about all that time you spent worrying about your stirrups and your sanitary socks.
That's true. I remember coming up with baseball with those stirrups. Used to wear those all the way up to your knees. Those were interesting with socks.
Well, the school I was at prior to Valdosta was they mimicked the Cincinnati Reds red leg look with the high legs and very old school. So it was a big contrast.
Ran a full count pitch again coming from Allen, and ball 4. So Allen loses Diaz. He walks the first batter he faces, first and second now. Still only 1 out, top of the order. Gabe Arachichoa, who singled, reached on an error, scored a run in the 5-run third. Now, Ponte Vedra needs to be careful. Game could get out of hand here with one more hit, and then you're staring at a possible run rule here in the top of the 4th. We go 5 innings. It's 10 runs, of course.
Well, Marty, I hope that for Ponte Vedra's sake, they don't get into a situation like they did in 2010 where the final score was 19-0.
I don't think we're going to get there, but as it's fell back to the backstop, it's 0-1.
Maybe you can tell me if you know. Do they evoke the run rule in the championship
Yes,
game?
they do. 5 innings. 10 runs in 5 innings. Just
well,
like
we're
in the
not
regular
even.
season.
We're only halfway there. There's still hope.
No, a long
for
way
the
to
Sharks.
go. Allen needs to get a couple outs here as it's 0-1 to Arachichoa, and
a friendly ground ball right here would certainly lift the spirits of the boys in the shimmery Columbia blue.
Shimmery Columbia blue. The 0-1 is swing and a miss. Good pitch by Allen. Now he's ahead 0-2. I believe in that game 2 years ago, Ponte Vedra committed about 6 errors.
Well, they had to be a very young team if they were only 2 years in as a school.
They were very young, and Tampa Jesuit, a lot of the guys we saw yesterday were playing on that team then, and some other guys that have since moved on. That's a nationally powered program, always a state power. The 0-2 misses a little bit outside, 1-2. American Heritage yesterday, after they beat Jesuit, celebrated like they won the state title. They did the dog pile in front of pitcher's mound.
I think their feeling was they knocked off a team that in some polls was considered #1 team in the country at the time.
1-2 outside. It's now 2-2. 2-2 the count, first and second. And the pitch. High fly ball into right field. Orth is going to move back a few steps, and he'll make the catch. Tagging up from second is Perez. They'll head to third. Diaz stays at first, so first and third, 2 outs now as FHSAA flies out to the right fielder Orth. That'll bring up Brandon Lopez, who was hit to a double play and walked in a run with the bases loaded last inning.
American Heritage moved up from 3A last year, or in 2009, has been playing in 4A, and this will be their first 4A finals.
Yeah, American Heritage winning in 3A back in 2008. Lopez walked with the bases loaded. Later came home to score on the grand slam by Zach Collins, and Collins is on deck as the first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0.
Under the new classifications, Marty, isn't 3A and 4A the same size school? They just changed the numbers and added 8A?
That's correct. Well,
so the size of their school really didn't change. It's just the way they were nomenclatured then.
Basically, that's true as the throw to first not in time. 6A, a lot of the 6A schools moved up to 8A, 5A to 7A, 4A to 6A. A lot of them went up 2 classes, some went up 1, as in the case of American Heritage. And then they added the 1A. The 1A class already exists. They took away 1B and 2. Well, in football, they had 1B and 2B. So, and baseball was always 1A through 6A. As the pitch misses, down to second goes Diaz. And no throw, so it's 2-0. One A, though, now considered the rural class. It's most of the schools in northeast Florida, or north central Florida, and the Panhandle, the Big Bend area. But actually, it doesn't matter on number of students there. And actually, some 4A schools are smaller than some 1A schools. It's interesting as it's fouled off at the plate. Means 2-1.
How does that work? Well, tomorrow we have classes 7 and 8A.
Yeah, that starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Brandon,
New Smyrna
Beach.
Atlantic versus Venice at 1.
Yep.
Timber Creek and Spruce Creek, Battle of the Creeks at 4.
Yep.
And
then
Columbus versus Palm Beach Gardens in the nightcap are at 7.
7A games at 10 and 1, 8A games at 4 and 7. Mike Rideout will have the 7A games. Myself, Marty Paulman, will bring you the 8A games. Well, I think we talked about Melbourne hadn't been to the semifinals, state semis in baseball since 1968. How about New Smyrna Beach? They're in for the first time since 1937. Now that is a long time. 75 years, in fact. So they'll play tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. against Brandon. That's a called strike. Now 2-2 to Lopez. This has been a long at bat. 2 outs. Runners are at second and third.
It's been a good year for Volusia County, putting both Spruce Creek and New Smyrna in the 8 and 7A championship or semifinals, respectively.
And a private school from that area, Deltona Trinity Christian, will be playing in the 2A semifinals as well. They won 2A state championships in 2009 and 2010 out of Volusia County.
And I know last year Deltona knocked out my son's high school, Lake Howell, to get there out of Volusia County as well.
Deltona made the state championship in 6A, lost to Tampa Alonzo last year. 3-2 into center field. And backing up, Jacob on the run. Nice play as he backs up and makes the catch. And Nathan Allen does get out of the jam here in the top of the 4th. So we had a couple of walks. The 2 runners left on base. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on for American Heritage. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 American Heritage leading Ponte Vedra here on the FHSAA Network. We'll return for this 5A state championship game in a moment from Port St. Lucie. Right to the bottom of the fourth we go. You see the line total, 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for American Heritage. As they got all their runs in 5 in the third, they've left 3 on base as the Patriots left 2 on there in the top of the fourth, and no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Ponte Vedra Sharks, who have left 1 on base back in the first inning. Marty Palman here along with Mark Schambach in our 5A state championship game, and we mentioned the schedule for tomorrow starting around 10 a.m. with the 7A semifinals. Brandon and New Smyrna Beach, and a long time for New Smyrna Beach, 1937. They were last in a state semifinal round, so they'll get a chance tomorrow morning to change that luck somewhat. A lot of teams making their first appearances. There's 2 of the 4 1A schools and 2 of the 4 2A schools making their first ever appearances in the state semifinals. 1A and 2A are coming up. The semifinals on Monday, state championship games on Tuesday. The 7A and 8A championship games will be this Sunday. Jackson Johnson, the left fielder, will lead it off in the bottom of the fourth. He walked and was straight out on a double play back, or raced on a double play back in the first inning. 2, 3, and 4 for the Sharks against Alex Siebold.
Marty, I was reading the program during the break and had no idea, but there are 792 member schools, part of Florida High School Activity Association's governance, and the 32 teams that made it this far, big applause and congratulations to them, no matter how their outcome comes tomorrow or the next day. They all deserve a lot of praise.
2-0 outside, and now it's 3-0 to Johnson. Again, Siebold's only walk was to Johnson back in the first inning. He's struck out 2, allowed 1 hit. Both Ponte Vedra's base runners came in the first. Siebold has now retired the last 7 in a row, but it's now 3-0, and there's ball 4. So Johnson walks for the second time in the game, and he is at first to lead off the bottom of the fourth. So here is Perry Orth, who hit into a double play, 6-4-3 back in the first inning, and now quickly a meeting on the mound with pitching coach from American Heritage and his pitcher. Just settle down. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Just 1 base runner, I'm sure, is what he's telling him here.
He's telling him, look, you got a 5-run lead. Throw strikes. Let your defense help you. For crying out loud. You can't be walking guys with a 5-run lead.
For crying out loud. That's right. He is a tall right-hander. Pretty good. There's Siebold. And here is Perry Orth. And Perry Orth, with runners on base, has had issues. 3 double plays he's hit into in 2 games. Fouls that one off towards me.
That one might have made somebody else's press box right there.
I believe that got into our public address booth next door, an official score. But the window is closed there, so they're all right. I don't think we have a window here. The 0-1. Nope. And Orth did go. It's 0-2.
Well, the message delivered. 0-2. 2 straight strikes. Just pounding the zone, challenging the hitters.
And the 0-2 on the way. Pitch misses inside. It's 1-2.
Left a breaking ball in.
Runner at first, nobody out. For Ponte Vedra, bottom of the fourth, they trail at 5-0 in the dirt. And it gets away, and down to second. Johnson will get there. And at first, Johnson wasn't going to go, but the ball did get in the dirt away from Zach Collins, and that'll be a stolen base for Johnson. So he's in scoring position at second with nobody out. 2-2 the count to Perry Orth. See if Orth can come through with an RBI. Cut into this American Heritage lead.
Well, that removes the threat of Orth hitting to yet another double play.
And fouled back to the screen. Remains 2-2.
At least not a conventional ground ball double play here. Outfield straight away. Infield medium depth.
2-2 is in the dirt. It gets away again, and that'll be far enough for the runner to move up. That'll be a wild pitch. So Johnson to third now with nobody out. It's full 3-2 to Orth as the pitch gets away from Collins again.
Well, a morale booster 90 feet away. If the Sharks can get their first run, even if they get it sacrificing an out, it'll be something more to cheer about.
So a full count pitch due from Siebold. And called strike 3. Breaking pitch over the outside corner. Good curveball from Siebold. That's his third strikeout. Orth is down looking, and that's 1 out.
Good late bite on that breaking ball.
So 1 out here is Max Miller. He struck out swinging in the first, 0 for 1. Runner still at third, but now 1 out. And that's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Siebold working quickly right now with a runner at third base. Ponte Vedra trying to get it on the board here in the bottom of the fourth. All to take is a fly ball. Johnson, a pretty quick runner at third, or even a ground ball somewhere.
Siebold electing to go from the stretch.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and now the throw to third. Ooh, he almost had Johnson too far off third base. What a bullet throw down there by Collins. But it's Johnson safe at third, but it's 0-2 now to the hitter Miller. Miller had a fastball blown by him that time by Siebold.
Collins flashing a little leather and showing off the gun there.
So 0-2 and a chance for Siebold to come back with back-to-back strikeouts. And Miller pops it up on the infield, and the play is made right on the outfield grass by Brandon Diaz, and obviously the runner can't tag up on that one, so now 2 outs.
If the Sharks do not get the run plated this inning, that would be adding salt to the wound.
So it's going to be up to Nate Rokos, the shortstop, who struck out in the second to get this run home. And pitch outside, 1-0.
Shark bat's been a little quiet this tournament so far. Need something to light their fire.
That's a strike right down the middle, and it's 1-1.
Had a manager once went a little insane when our team was in a slump. He grabbed the entire bat rack, every bat there was, threw them out on the dirt, said, "Here, let's wake these suckers up."
A little bit low, 2-1. Did it work?
We got a 7-run inning that inning.
Yeah, hey, it worked.
Everybody was laughing, but it was lighting the mood, and we got something going.
2-1. The pitch on the way. And that's a good curveball in for a strike, 2-2. So a good chance out for Siebold to get out of the inning.
A lot of 2s on the board.
Deuces. Again, Johnson still at 30. He was there with nobody out. Now he's there with 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Siebold. After that runner gets to third with nobody out, Ponte Vedra leaves the runner Johnson stranded. So a walk and a runner left at third. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the 5th. 5-0 American Heritage leading Ponte Vedra. This is the 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 1 minute.
Conclusion of tonight's championship game. We encourage you to stick around and join us as we recognize the players and coaches for both teams.
All right, we go to the top of the 5th here in Port St. Lucie. 5-0 American Heritage continuing to lead Ponte Vedra in our 5A state championship game. Marty Paulman and Mark Schenbeck back with you at Digital Domain Park, home of the St. Lucie Mets of the Florida State League, the spring training home of the New York Mets, who were getting hammered tonight by the Toronto Blue Jays. This is where a lot of the Mets players come for rehab. I understand David Wright and Juan Santana spent a lot of time here. Santana was out for almost a year and a half, and the joke was made. Jason Bay's here pretty much constantly.
Well, Collins up there at the plate right now, Marty, looking to go back-to-back after grand slam last inning.
Yep. And that was back in the third. It made it 5-0. Hit off the foul pole in right field. And it's 1-1 to Collins. That came against Yelverton. Nathan Allen in the game now, entered in the third or the fourth. Got out of a jam as it's 2-1. You see the right field foul pole. That's where the ball hit off of back in the third inning. It looked like it was heading foul and hit right high off that foul pole. Definitely had the distance and the height, just a matter of where it was going to land. And it hit off the foul pole for a grand slam for Zach Collins, his 4th home run of the year.
Collins kind of playing with house money now, probably swinging for the downs once again.
Well, with nobody on, leading off the inning, you can do that as it's now full 3-2. And the pitch. There's another drive to right field, and Orth going back. That's going to get over his head. One hop off the right field fence into second goes Collins. Boy, he is seeing the ball really well. He crushed that ball off the warning track in right field. A leadoff double here in the 5th.
You know, Marty, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth, but right before that pitch, I looked up and I saw where the right fielder was playing, and I was thinking, this guy hit the ball out of the yard. You're playing him awfully shallow. And sure enough.
Well, and you've seen that, but you know, again, it's 410 to center, 338 down the lines, but if there's one team that has proven they can hit the long ball this week, so far it's American Heritage, is number 7. That'll be Kevin Williams running at second for the catcher, Collins.
Collins flashing good power.
Here's Danny Zardon, the third baseman, who is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to center. So a home run, a double for Collins. All he needs is a single or triple for the cycle. Of course, it's already the 5th inning. I don't know if he's going to be legging out too many triples either.
Outside, if it was a close game, I think he could have legged a triple out on that particular play.
That's true.
With the 5-run lead, he chugged into second base standing up.
Hit number 5 of the game for American Heritage. Williams at second, the count 1-0 to Zardon, third baseman for the Patriots. Allen's pitch on the way is chopped foul over the third base side, and it's 1-1. So the 7A semifinals tomorrow at 10 and 1. The 8A semifinals at 4 and 7. Sunday, the 7A championship game at 4:05. The 8A championship game at 7:05. Our two biggest classifications coming up this weekend here from Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie. Then we move to 1A and 2A Monday and Tuesday, the two smaller classifications. And then 3A and 4A is Wednesday and Thursday next week. This is the 5A state championship game. Earlier today, Archbishop McCarthy winning in Class 6A. So 2-1 the count. Williams again with the lead at second, the courtesy runner for the catcher. And 2-1 is hit into left field for a base hit. Williams going to take the turn at third. He'll be held up as the throw comes in. But heading into second, they'll have a play at second. And Zardon, I don't know what he was doing. He is out by a mile at second base as that ball was cut off by the third baseman. So the putout goes 9-5-4. Zardon, the ball was already on the infield. He was barely around first base, and that cost your team an out. But the third is Williams with 1 out. Gotta wonder what was going on there. Maybe he missed. He might have gone through the sign of the first base coach completely there. So Williams held up at third.
I have no explanation for that one, Marty.
Here's Esteban Puerta, the DH. He struck out twice against Yelverton and fouls it back to the backstop, 0-1. Williams is at third with 1 out, and the infield will come in from Ponte Vedra at all 4 positions. Is already trailing it by 5. Sharks really can't afford to give up too many more runs.
Well, right now, Allen has not been fooling anybody this inning. He gave up a double off the wall, 1 hopper to the wall, and a line drive single. Lucky to get an out on the base running. Oops.
Luckily, again, you have a 5-run lead with a runner at third. as the pitch is low 1-1.
Well,
but
that cushion is only good as long as your pitcher keeps throwing strikes. We saw last night one of the games where a 6-1 lead almost evaporated. Game went to 6-4, had the bases loaded with 2 outs. And
there's a drive in the left field. That is going to go all the way and over the fence in left field for Esteban Puerta. And once again, American Heritage is just slugging the ball all over the ballpark here at Digital Domain Park. And it is now 7-0. A 2-run homer by Puerta. And boy, never mind that whole base running issue.
That's nice to see for Puerta. He'd been kind of on the schneid, wearing the collar, hadn't really gotten going. But I tell you, hitting is contagious.
And Puerta, that is his 4th home run of the year, so he just matched Collins, who hit his 4th home run earlier for the team lead. And Puerta yesterday struck out twice, no hits. And he came in this tournament hitting at .355, and that one was another no-doubter. This one making it over the left field fence. And 2 more home runs tonight for American Heritage, and they lead at 7-0.
That one was a no-doubter.
Kind of the one like Diaz hit last night over the left field fence.
The one Diaz hit last night had a little more height to it. It was almost like it had good backspin, because it was almost like a golf ball you hit down the fairway that just keeps carrying. This ball was a rocket out of here.
Brendan Vicens has walked in, popped to second, 0 for 1, the count 1-1, and that one went over that Budweiser sign out there in left field near the Florida Chiropractic. The one Diaz hit last night hit over that little second fence, which is not over the main fence. It's a few feet back from it. So we've had one go off the right field foul pole. You see that Spring Hill Suites is where the one hit last night. 1-2 is hit foul over to the third base coach's box, and now another right-hander in the Ponte Vedra bullpen warming up as the Sharks now are in big trouble, trailing at 7-0.
That's Casey Weeks down there in the bullpen, Marty.
Line drive into left center. That's in for a hit. Jacob will cut it off, and heading for second is Vicens. The throw is up the line and cut off. Vicens with a double, and now American Heritage really pounding Nathan Allen. A double, a single, a home run, and a double. The only out of the inning was recorded when Zardan tried to go to second base on his single. 4 hits in the inning for American Heritage, now 8 in the game. And here's David Villar, who's 0 for 2 today. Well, American Heritage again, and yesterday their bats didn't wake up till the 8th inning, although they did get a lot of base runners on yesterday, left 11 on base, so they did get hits and runners, but Lance McCullers was tough today. They've, in the 3rd and 5th innings, have really hit Ponte Vedra hard. First pitch to Villar outside, 1-0.
Well, I thought the way things were going, the way McCullers handled these guys yesterday, I really thought that they weren't that formidable as a hitting team until the home run. I've been proven wrong today. These guys came out with their hitting sticks on.
1-0 the count.
Just a tip of your cap to the job McCullers did yesterday.
He had 9 strikeouts too. In the dirt, stopped by Willage, and it's 2-0.
Well, I don't want to put any more pressure than that's already on Ponte Vedra, but if they can't get a couple more outs before 3 runs scored, they may be down to their final 3 outs themselves in the bottom half.
There's a drive in the left center, and that's trouble. That's going to get all the way to the wall and score another run.
There could be our first triple again. No, he's holding up.
Villar will stop at second. Vicens easily scores. That's the 3rd double in the inning for American Heritage, and they are now cruising 8-0.
Well, the coach is giving the sign down to the bullpen, asking, is he ready? Is he ready?
Well, you're going to see a change. Allen has nothing this inning. He's allowed 5 hits and 3 runs so far. It's 8-0 now. And
there comes Coach Stanton.
And I guess that's number 2. That is Casey Weeks down there. And I don't have any don't have any pitching stats on Weeks. Oh, yeah, there he is, actually. He's been in 7 games, pardon me. So he will come into the game here in the top of the 5th, 8-0, and now Ponte Vedra is in danger of getting run ruled out of here to the top of the 5th. The runner at second, 1 out, already 3 runs in. So Allen had a good 4th inning, gave up a couple walks, got out of the jam after coming for Yelverton, but here in the 5th has given up 5 hits in a row, and the only out was recorded at second base. 3 doubles, a home run, and a single. So Allen will exit as he ends up pitching 1 inning. Allows 5 hits and so far 3 runs. And again, the runner at second belongs to him. He has 2 walks and no strikeouts. And again, he gave up a home run as well as that 2-run shot over the left field fence by Esteban Puerta. Dallas Perez is going to come up. He's reached twice today with a single and a walk and a run scored. So the numbers for Weeks. Weeks is a senior. 0-1, 1 save, his 8th appearance. 9 innings pitched on the season. Allowed 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a 2.33 ERA. And that 1.35 team ERA from Ponte Vedra is heading up in this game.
Well, looking out at the big scoreboard clock, we're approaching 20 minutes to 11 on the East Coast. And time seems to be running out on the season for Ponte Vedra.
And I think coming in, you figured that the winner of the Jesuit American Heritage game would be the favorite today. But after watching Ponte Vedra's pitching yesterday, you kind of thought they had a chance, but just the bats are too much. And Ponte Vedra isn't the offensive team that American Heritage is.
Well, Yelverton did have to come into the game yesterday, correct?
I'm sorry?
Yelverton did come into the game.
No, he did not. Deegan pitched a complete
that's
game.
Right. He warmed up in the pen a couple times.
He did. He never came in, so they saved him for today and just ran out of gas there in the 3rd inning, giving up those 5 runs. As the first pitch to Perez outside, 1-0. Perez again singled, scored in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, and was left stranded.
Well, just for insurance sake, looks like American Heritage is getting somebody up in their pen, a left-hander throwing.
In for a strike, 1-1 to Perez. Not sure if that's might be a reliever. So the runner again is at second. That's Villar with 1 out and fouled back to the backstop, 1-2. Atlanta Braves win tonight at Tropicana Field over Tampa Bay 5-3. Tommy Hanson beats James Shields.
That might be another. No.
I was thinking it was another outfielder maybe, but another position player.
Do they have another Brandon Diaz on the roster?
I don't think so. It's foul back.
Number 6 is who's down there.
Well, Diaz has pitched in 15 games, so you may see him come in, although now with an 8-run lead. Oh, maybe Bruce Avon will go to the bullpen.
Marty, I'm looking at my lineup card. There are 2 Brandon Diaz's listed on this card. One is a sub, number 6, and of course, our hero from last night, number 15, Brandon Diaz. That is a conundrum.
2-2 the count. I like that word. Two and 2 remains the count as it's fouled off.
Well, this base runner, if he gets on, could be the potential 10th run.
Yeah, you're right. They have 2. Huh? That's weird. I have Brandon Diaz listed as a number 6 and as a number 15. But Brandon Diaz is on deck.
There's another base hit.
As you mentioned, that's into center field, and it's going to get in front of Jacob. It's going to score another run. Ballard to the plate. The throw comes into second, and another RBI for Perez. And it's now 9-0. And none of this is going to matter. If American Heritage scores 1 more run, they can end this game in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, I can safely say that if they do make the pitching change,
it is a conundrum.
there will be the first time 2 players with the same name have played in the championship game. I'm safely betting that.
Well, here is Brandon Diaz, the hitter. Singled, scored in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, left stranded. 9-0 the score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight hits in this inning.
Now,
10 in the game.
I don't know if you remember the heavyweight champion George Foreman. He did have a bunch of kids. He named all of them George. So these could be identical twins. One's left-handed, one's right-handed.
I was thinking that was because of the just was easy to remember the name George. As pitch misses inside and low, it's 2-0.
At least with George, I think they were all with one woman. Unfortunately, Vander Hollerfield didn't fare so well. Anyway, we regress here in the 9-0 game.
It's a 9-0 game. The 2-0 is, I guess, a little bit outside. It's 3-0. So you and Mike had a 1-run game today.
We broke the jinx.
Yesterday we had some extra inning games. Today, for a while, we wondered if we're going to have any runs, but American Heritage has answered that question. Popped up on the infield. Max Miller, the second baseman, will have a play, and that's the second out in the inning as Diaz pops up to second. Boy, that's...
Let me take one more shot at this. Number 1, Gabe Irachochia. Now batting.
Yes. 1 for 3, a single, reached on an error in the 3rd, scored a run, and it's blown to right. Two outs, runner at second, and they pitch in for a strike. So the line is closed for Allen. 1 inning, 4 hits, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. 2 walks, no strikeouts, allowed 1 home run. It's outside now, even 1-1. Well, American Heritage still needs 1 run to put the 10-run rule in order. A little bit low, 2-1. Got another left-hander in the Ponte Vedra bullpen. That is Cam Williams, number 9.
By process of elimination, you didn't even have to look down there.
You're right. As a pitch outside, it's now 3-1 because Deegan pitched a complete game yesterday. He's not available. Allen's pitched. Yelverton's pitched.
The only one left is Walker Scheller.
Walker Scheller, who's the DH. So, yep, you're right. Williams and Scheller are it. That's in for a strike, full 3-2. 4 runs here in the inning in the top of the 5th, 5 in the 3rd for American Heritage. They lead at 9-0. 10:46 is the time. Fouled back to the backstop. Still full 3-2.
Well, that full-scale celebration after beating Jesuit last night probably did, in their minds, feel like they had won the state championship already.
Yeah, it may
It'll
have
be
been
a little bit of a I can't say that it'll be a letdown, but it won't be near the emotion possible.
There's a drive into right center, and on the run, nice play by Jacob going over into right field in front of Orth to make the catch. High fly ball by FHSAA, but he is the 3rd out in the top of the 5th. 4 runs in the inning for American Heritage on 6 hits. They now have 10 in the game, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We now head to the bottom of the 5th. American Heritage 9, Ponte Vedra nothing in our 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 1 minute.
Millions throughout the southeast. Pinch a penny. The perfect people for the perfect pool.
All right, we go to the bottom of the 5th, and we'll play on for a little while as Siebold stays in the game for American Heritage. And Alex Siebold with a 9-0 lead over Ponte Vedra in our 5A state championship game. Marty Palman, Mark Schambeck back at Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie. So 5 in the 3rd and 4 in the 5th has taken pretty much most of the drama out of this one. American Heritage will attempt to win their 2nd state title in school history, the last in 2008, and it looks like they're rolling right now towards that championship.
Well, I don't make fun of the woes right now that the Sharks are facing, but I just got word that my old high school, my best friend who's the head coach for San Gregonio High School, they just got beat 18-1 by a future first-round pitcher who threw a one-hitter. So it could be worse is all I'm trying to say.
On the run. Nice catch in foul territory over there by Dallas Perez as Walker Scheller, the DH, flies out to right in foul territory in the first pitch, 1 out. It's a nice catch over to that bullpen up on the mound by Perez. Here's Ryan Teifer, the first baseman. So from under the ground out to short. 1 hitter, so they got a home run. Their only run.
Believe it or not, the story is he brought a kid up from JV as a playoff game, his first varsity game ever. He batted him 4, and he had a base hit up the middle for the single off this guy throwing 95, a kid named Garza. And that was the only run they got, the only hit of the game the rest of the way.
Oh, wow. 2-0 the count. So what part of the playoffs are they in California right now?
Second round was it. They played in a wild card game to get into it. They were playing the #1 seed.
Well, if we hadn't already had rain, that pop fly would have brought it, but good job as 4 infielders were in the area, and the second baseman, Diaz, calls them off for the second out. Teifer hit that one about 100 feet in the air or so.
#1 seed in the tournament called Bonita is who knocked them out 18-1.
So in the second round, they play into June then. Is that correct?
That is correct. School's already out there, and they continue to play for another 2 weeks.
I always thought that would be kind of an interesting idea to do in Florida.
Well,
they like to wrap everything up for school. There's some lightning off down the right towards the coast here. I think heat lightning.
Summer vacations and things going on.
Yeah.
Up north, they don't even have North Dakota, Minnesota, a lot of them, they don't even have high school baseball. They play baseball, obviously, during the summer.
They have to. Probably can't start playing in Minnesota till almost April when the weather is up there. Here's Will Newton going to pinch hit for Willich, the catcher.
Well, the good news is Coach Stanton has a chance to involve the rest of his roster on the field here.
Will Newton, no average on the year, has 19 at-bats and 2 RBIs.
Will Newton may be one of those JV late bring-ups in the season.
He's a senior.
Oh, well, take that back.
1-1. Swing and a miss, but he's getting a chance here in the state championship game to hit as a senior. It's 1-2 now as he swings and misses. Where do they play the state finals in California for baseball?
They move it around. In most cases, they play it at Anaheim Stadium, what used to be called the Big A.
Oh yeah, now Angel Stadium of Anaheim. 1-2 outside. It's even now 2-2, and that's a neat place to play a state championship in a major league ballpark.
It was a big thrill, and we had 7,000 people in the stands. Of course, they played more than one game, just like they do here, back to back. But 7,000, nice crowd.
Fouled off, and staying alive is Newton at 2-2.
Of course, your population base within that 30-mile radius around there is about 5 million, so a lot easier to get some folks out to the yard.
And missing low, it's full 3-2. I think I'm seeing heat lightning. I hope so. Off to down the right field side, which would be
that's the last thing we need right now is a lightning delay.
Over near the coast, off to our east.
That's some good hacks up there by Newton. Getting his money's worth with a full count.
And 3-2 remains to count. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 9-0. American Heritage leading Ponte Vedra, and now a 3-2 pitch on the way from Siebold. And a swing and a miss by Newton for strike 3. But a good at bat there for Newton. Had some hacks, but That is the 5th strikeout of the game for Alex Siebel. He's walked 2 and allowed only 1 hit through 5 innings. 1, 2, 3 goes Ponte Vedra in the bottom of the 5th. And to the 6th we go. American Heritage 9, Ponte Vedra nothing. This is the 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. Back to Digital Domain Park in 1 minute.
Ponte Vedra nothing. To purchase photos of the 2012 FHSAA Baseball Finals, visit Glossy Finish Photography on the World Wide Web at FHSAA.glossyfinish.com. You can then order prints and posters of the players online. But why wait? Find a Glossy Finish brand ambassador in a red vest game, and they can make sure your favorite player has their photo taken. Glossy Finish, official photographer of the FHSAA Finals. Glossy Finish wants to remind you can see all the action and photos of your team from your seat. Use your iPhone to run your Wi-Fi settings, choose Photo Viewer, and follow the directions.
All right, we go to the top of the 6th, pardon me. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's probably because it's about 6 minutes till 11. And it is 9-0. American Heritage leading Ponte Vedra in our 5A state championship game here from Port St. Lucie. 2 innings, 5 in the 3rd, 4 in the 5th. That's all the Patriots need, and Alex Siebel with a 1-hitter through 5 innings. And in the top of the 6th, we'll see 2, 3, and 4 again for American Heritage. They had 8 batters come to the plate in the 3rd. They had 8 batters come to the plate in the 5th. 6 hits in the 5th. 3 hits in the 3rd. And the big blow, the grand slam by Zach Collins. And Lopez is 0 for 2, walked in a run with the bases loaded in the 3rd. He slowed to center, hit into a double play.
Ball 1 up high.
So 1-0 the count to Lopez. As continuing on the mound here is Casey Weeks.
Well, Weeks pressed into action after Yelverton was treated rudely, and Allen got the likewise treatment a couple innings later. Bats have really come out for American Heritage Patriots. Their fans are still cheering for more.
2-1 the count. Sounds like somebody's playing drums down below us.
That's the American Heritage faithful right down there in the front 2 rows.
And now it's even at 2-2. There they are. It's water bottles. The back seat. Yeah, that makes sense. 2-2.
I feel like I'm at a concert for what's that called? Smash or
no? Stomp.
Stomp. Yes.
I like to use buckets. Still 2-2 the count is. There's strike 3. So
nice string pulled there. Nice pitch by Weeks.
The strikeout as Lopez strikes out for the first out of the 6th.
Well, guess what? I think we're going to see the left-hander against Collins. Coach Stanton doing a nice job of getting everybody in the ball game here. I think it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and that'll do it. You mentioned Weeks, who he did a good job coming in. He gave up 1 hit and pitched 1 inning, got a strikeout. Now we'll see another left-hander come into the game.
We're going to keep it here, or we're going to go to break?
We'll keep it here. Tell you about our new pitcher. So a successful inning for Weeks, and the 4th pitcher of the game now for Ponte Vedra will be another left-hander. This is number 9, Cam Williams, the 5'11 junior. 1-2, 2 saves, his 9th appearance. He's had 3 starts, 24 to 30 innings pitched, allowed 21 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts, and a 2.01 ERA. He's a junior, so now Ponte Vedra has used every pitcher listed except for Scheller. Actually, Jackson Johnson has pitched 6 innings this year as well. So
just 1 walk in 24 innings pitched. That's an excellent ratio.
Reminder, tomorrow morning we'll get started again at 10 a.m. with the 7A semifinals. Mike Radout will have the call on with Mark of the 7A semis. Brandon and New Smyrna Beach at 10 a.m. Then Delray Beach, Atlantic, and Venice at 1 o'clock at 7A. And Mike will be with Mark for that one, and I'll rejoin Mark at 4 o'clock for the 8A semifinals. The Creeks will play Timber and Spruce. And then the second 8A semifinal tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Miami Columbus against Palm Beach Gardens. On Sunday, the 7A championship game at 4:05 p.m., the 8A championship at 7:05 here on the FHSAA network. So we still have 6 more days. After tonight, we're only a quarter of the way through. Long way to go here in the 2012 FHSAA baseball finals. So Williams has his warm-up tosses, and he will come in with 1 out in the top of the 6th. And as you mentioned, Collins up 2 for 3 with a grand slam, a double, and a run scored. We'll have a lefty-lefty matchup now as we are almost to 11 o'clock. So the first pitch, a strike from Williams, 0-1 to the catcher Collins. Ooh, swing and a miss, big cut by Collins, it's 0-2. And now 11 p.m.
Well, we mentioned Walker Scheller earlier, the designated hitter.
Hit to second. Miller with a throw to first in time as Collins is retired for the second time today, first time since the first inning. There's 2 outs.
Walker Scheller is the last pitcher to be thrown in the bullpen. The right-hander getting loose.
2 outs. Nobody on. There's Danny Zardon, the third baseman, who has flown out twice to center and singled, 1 for 3.
Nice job so far by Cam Williams.
Swing and a miss. Again, he gets ahead of Zardon, 0-1. And Ponte Vedra has used 4 pitchers tonight.
We've tipped over into the 11 o'clock hour.
Fouled off. At the plate, it's 0-2. Cam Williams, Tom Stanton said his fastball only tops out around 70, but only 1 walk all year.
Did you say 70?
68 miles an hour is what it says fastball. I was actually giving him a couple miles an hour. It looks a little harder than that, but chopped to third. And a play in the hole across, and it goes off the glove of Tyford first. As the throw by Poling in the dirt, and that will be a base hit for Zardon, his second hit of the game. 11th hit for American Heritage. So runner at first with 2 outs, Esteban Puerta, the DH, who struck out twice, and then a 2-run homer last inning over the left field wall. That's what Tom Stanton said.
I believe you. I just
yeah,
had to do a double take on that.
68 miles. Maybe it looks a little harder up here, but
well, the hitters are out in front, so it is a good change of pace.
And right down the middle for a strike from Williams. He gets ahead 0-1.
Outfield playing shallow, in my opinion. We'll see if they can keep balls from dropping in front of them.
Considering the last time up, Puerta hit one over the fence. 0-1 is hit down the right side out of play and make it into the seats. It's 0-2.
Hit the railing. I heard the ding from here. $11 hits accumulated by American Heritage tonight.
6 of those in 1 inning. It was the 5th inning. They scored 4 runs.
That changeup looked like about a 60-mile-an-hour changeup.
Hit into right field. Orth will make the catch. And
effective inning for Williams.
Yeah, he gets 2 outs and gets out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A runner left on for American Heritage, who has left 5 on base, but it doesn't matter. They have a 9-0 lead over Ponte Vedra as we go to the bottom of the 6th in this 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. Back to Port St. Lucie in 60 seconds.
Durable surface on the planet. Field Turf, the ultimate surface experience.
And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Ponte Vedra trailing American Heritage 9-0. But what we do know is after retiring American Heritage in the top of the 6th, this game will go the full 7 innings. So Ponte Vedra has inverted the run rule. American Heritage got all their runs in 2 innings, the 3rd and the 5th. And Ponte Vedra still with only 1 hit, and that was a leadoff single by Jake Jacob in the 1st inning. They had Jackson Johnson's reached twice on walks. Other than that, he's the only base runner since the 1st inning for the Sharks.
Marty, I'm still rooting for number 6, Brandon Diaz, to get in the game with number 15, Brandon Diaz, the left-hander.
He's down there in the bullpen again.
Still throwing, but it looks like
it's about the only drama
Alex Siebold wants to take this home himself.
About the only drama that's left here is Brett Poley, the 3rd baseman, leads off 9-1-2 from Ponte Vedra in the bottom of the 6th. And the first pitch from Siebold is low and outside, 1-0. Right-hander again in the Ponte Vedra bullpen, and now this is Max Miller as it's fouled off into the seats off to the first base side, 0-1. And there he is. The other Brandon Diaz? Question mark? 1-0. Hit to short. Now this is the Brandon Lopez makes the play. On to first in time to get Poling, 1 out.
There is actually a 5th Brandon on the roster. Brandon Zako.
I think Brandon High School could use some of these Brandons. I need a drum roll rim shot somewhere over that. Yeah. First pitch to Jake Jacob, a ball, 1-0. He's 1 for 2 today. And they'll be playing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And all the Brandons playing for American Heritage. Jacob missed the bunt. That's 1-1. Brandon does have a player named Brandon. Okay, well, there you go. The 1-1 is up and in, 2-1. Crowd is thinned out except behind the dugout still, as it's now 11:07 at night. The 2-1 is hit foul off to the right out of play. They'll make the seats 2-2.
The water bottle cheering crew still in effect downstairs.
They are right behind home plate, wearing the gold and black of American Heritage. There's the 2-2 again, and hit down the right field line, and coming into foul territory again at the bullpen, making another nice running catch is Dallas Perez, and that's quickly 2 outs.
He made that look graceful. He had to go up the incline for where the bullpen mounds were as he made that catch.
Yeah, he made a catch like that last inning as well on the run on a ball hit by Walker Scheller. Quickly 2 outs again, and here is, well, this is not Johnson.
Got a new hitter, Sam Horn.
Sam Horn, number 1, will hit for Jackson Johnson. And hits the first pitch fouled on the third baseline. Johnson actually had walked twice tonight in his number 2 spot.
Horn, another senior, getting into the ball game.
285 with an RBI, 4 hits and 14 at bats, 2 runs scored. St. Lucie Mets are 32-8 this year so far. Leading the Florida State League, leading their division by 12 games. Hit to first. And an easy play for David Villari. Steps on first base, and Ponte Vedra again goes 1-2-3 in the 6th. And that is 9 in a row retired by Alex Siebel. We go to the 7th. American Heritage 3 outs away from a state championship. They lead Ponte Vedra 9-0 in our 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network.
While we have the opportunity, let's recap the scores from today's other championship game. In the Class 6A championship game, Archbishop McCarthy defeated Pace 4-3. Coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m., a Class 7A semifinal, Atlantic Community High School versus Venice. At 1 p.m., another Class 7A semifinal, Brandon High School versus New Smyrna Beach. At 4 p.m., a Class 8A semifinal, Timber Creek takes on Spruce Creek. And at 7 p.m.,
All right, we go to the top of the 7th. 9-0. American Heritage is leading Ponte Vedra in this 5A state championship game. And Cam Williams will continue on the mound for the Sharks. He will face the 6, 7, and 8 portion of the order for American Heritage. Brandon Bison's, David Villard, and Dallas Perez scheduled to hit in the top of the 7th. But American Heritage 3 outs away from their 2nd state title in the history of their baseball program. The first one back in 2008. Plantation American Heritage, Boca Del Rey American Heritage will play in the 3A semifinals coming up next Wednesday. Not to be confused with the two.
leading off American Heritage, number 7, Kevin Williams.
So here is Huerta. Oh, pardon me, this is Bison's. And a swing and a miss. Actually, this is not. This is another pinch hitter. Well, actually, Kevin Williams hitting. He's been a pinch runner as well in the last couple games. Courtesy runner as well.
Coach Avon getting some of his bench players into the ball game so they can tell their grandkids I played in a state championship once upon a time as well. And
count 1-1. Kevin Williams facing Cam Williams.
we don't have the information whether Kevin is a sophomore, junior, senior on our, do we?
16 at bats, no hits, 5 runs scored, an RBI. I do not have that information. 1-2 the count.
Any way you look at it, he's up there to get his hacks.
And the 1-2 on the way from Cam Williams is a little bit outside, now even a 2-2. 2008 American Heritage Plantation winning 8-2 over John Carroll in Sarasota to win that 3A title. Lost to Jacksonville Bulls in 2009 here in Port St. Lucie, 14-4 in the state championship game. Swing and a miss, and quickly 1 out. As Williams strikes out, that's the first strikeout for Cam Williams. And the other American Heritage, that being Delray Beach American Heritage, will play Wednesday at 4 o'clock against St. Pete Catholic in the 3A semifinals. So
Yeah.
we'll see if both American Heritages.
Another Brandon is going to bat. Number 22, Brandon Zako.
Well, all the Brandons got in then.
Is that the correct pronunciation? Zako?
I'm about to find out. Waiting to hear.
See what our public address wants to
exactly.
help us out with.
Maybe he doesn't want to try it. There we go. Zako. Okay. Close enough. So Zako will hit. Brandon Zako is the... Well, that's 1, 2, 3. The fourth Brandon to get in. If the other Brandon Diaz gets in, then we'll have all 5 Brandons as it's fouled back to the backstop.
I'm going to look that up later and see if that's an official record.
0-1 the count. Zako, 294. 34 at bats, 10 hits, 5 runs scored, 8 RBIs. Also has a double and a triple. Left-handed hitter. And the 0-1 is in the dirt. Gets back to the backstop, even at 1-1.
Well, our only left-handed Brandon is done doing his warm-up tosses, so the moment of truth will be soon to see if he goes out to pitch the 7th inning.
Swing and a miss by Zako. It's 1-2.
Big cut by Zako. You can tell he's got a couple extra base hits amongst his hits. He was not going to be content with just a single on that swing.
Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Now even at 2-2. Ponte Vedra in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. Still only 1 hit for the Sharks. That was the first batter of the game for them, Jake Jacob. Way back in the first inning. First 2 runners in the game for Ponte Vedra got on. They've had 1 base runner since. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Williams with back-to-back strikeouts. As Zako takes strike 3 looking. 2 outs, and there's Dallas Perez due to hit. We're going to have another pinch hitter.
Well, tip your cap to young Cam Williams.
Tom Stanton going to make another change and get another pitcher involved.
Did a fine job leaving the game, giving up no runs. Recorded 5 outs.
And it looks like we're going to see Walker Scheller. So Ponte Vedra has now used all of their pitchers. And Williams, you're right, did a good job. Allowed 1 hit. Got 4 outs and 2 strikeouts. Actually, he went an inning in the 3rd. 1 hit allowed. No runs, no walks, 2 Ks. Walker Scheller is the 5th pitcher of the game for Ponte Vedra. Will enter with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th and nobody on base. We'll give you the numbers on the junior Walker Scheller. No record. He has 7 saves, so he serves as a closer for the Ponte Vedra Sharks. 11th appearance, 12 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, so 0 ERA for Scheller. And a pinch hitter for Heritage, Edgar Badaraco. He'll hit for Perez. First pitch fouled off to the right out of play. It's 0-1. We are now been playing for 2 hours. So our game started about 9:15, 2 hours and 10 minutes late. 3 pinch hitters in this inning. Pitch misses low. It's 1-1. Give you some information on Walker Scheller. 82, 85 miles per hour sidearm motion, as Coach Stanton they said he is the closer. 1-2 the count. Obviously not a safe situation here. 2 out, nobody on. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Sidearm motion is in the dirt, and it's even now 2-2. And the 2-2 is swung and fouled off by Badaracco. He is batting .267. He does have a home run and 5 RBIs, 4 hits and 15 at-bats, 4 runs scored, and 1 double. So the twos are wild again, 2-2 with 2 outs. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Scheller comes in and strikes out the only batter he faces. And Ponte Vedra, Williams, and Scheller combine to strike out the side against 3 American Heritage pinch hitters here in the top of the 7th. So nothing across for the Patriots. Their first 1-2-3 inning of the game, and it comes in the 7th inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 3 more outs for American Heritage to win the state championship. They lead 9-0 over Ponte Vedra in the 5A state championship game here on the FHSAA network. All right, we go to the bottom of the 7th, and American Heritage 3 outs away from a state championship, and we will have a pitching change. And Marty Paulman and Mark Schambach back with you, and we're going to get our wish. Brandon Diaz will go to the mound, but a different Brandon Diaz, number 6. 2-1, 4 saves. He is the closer for this team. 16th appearance, 3 starts on the year. 24 innings pitched, allowed 18 hits, 6 earned runs, 7 walks, and 40 strikeouts. 24 innings pitched and a 1.75 ERA, and he will come in to get the last 3 outs in a 9-0 game and clinch this state championship for the Patriots. 6 innings for Siebold, 1 hit allowed, no runs, walked 2, and he struck out 5. And he retired the last 9 hitters he faced and allowed only 1 base runner after the first inning. Hit up the middle, easy play over there. I think we've had some defensive changes, maybe. That is still, well, that's Brandon Diaz at second. So Brandon Diaz's first batter, he gets Perry Orth the ground out to Brandon Diaz. So 1 out. And that figures.
It's only appropriate.
So 1 out. And Ponte Vedra now going to the bench. This is Jordan McKenna hitting for Miller. Gets the pitch low. It's 2-0. Well, a great season for Ponte Vedra. Their second appearance in the state semifinals in 4 years. This year they make the state, or 3 years, they make the state championship game. And for a program that's only 4 years old, they really have grown a lot under Tom Stanton. They're going to come up short tonight, but nothing to be ashamed about. It's Ponte Vedra's season win at 21-9, and state runners up here in Class 5A. 3-1 the count. Sure, that's a little solace right now to Ponte Vedra, but they're still up on the top step trying to cheer on their teammates as McKenna draws a walk. So Diaz walks McKenna with 1 out. And we'll bring up Brokaws, and we'll have a runner at first base. And that will be Eric Smith. So runner at first, 1 out. The first runner for Ponte Vedra since the 4th inning. Roquez has struck out twice today. And Roquez, a senior. They'll lose Jacob, Roquez, Orth. Those are the main starters they'll lose off this team. Nathan Allen, who pitched tonight, as well as Casey Weeks. But Deegan will return, Yelverton will return, Williams will return, and the pitching staff. 0-1 is in for a strike quickly, 0-2. There you see Brandon Diaz, left-hander. One out runner at first, the 0-2. Just a little bit outside, it's 1-2. And the 1-2 on the way is in the dirt, 2-2. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Diaz gets his first strikeout. Roquez strikes out 3 times today, and now 2 outs. And the last chance was Scheller scheduled. It'll be Joey Schrebot. And he is a junior.
Schrebot, number 6.
And he's going to hit in Scheller's spot. Scheller went into pitch last inning.
That includes everyone that I have on my roster short of Jordan.
I think they have used everyone. No, Jordan McKenna hit in this inning. Chris Levitt has not hit. Levitt's the only player that's gotten in this game at some point for Ponte Vedra. So 2 outs, American Heritage 1 out away from the state title. That runner at first from Ponte Vedra and 2 outs. Trying to finish off a 1-hitter is Brandon Diaz, and check swing by Trebot. They call it a strike.
Come on, Blue.
It's 0-1.
Have a heart.
I think it's more the fact that it's 35 minutes to midnight at this point, but the 0-1. This is outside, 1-1. One the count. Runner at first, 2 outs. The pitch.
Looks like Chas Levitt has stepped into the on-deck circle.
So it's 2-1. Chris Levitt will be the only player remaining who hasn't appeared for Ponte Vedra. And the 2-1 swing and a miss. Good fastball by Diaz. And it's 2-2, and now American Heritage is 1 strike away. Two and 2 are on their feet in the dugout. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And now we'll have another dog pile in front of the pitcher's mound, the second in as many nights for the American Heritage Patriots. This time they're state champions.
Dog pile, the sequel.
Diaz with back-to-back strikeouts, and he finishes it off with a perfect 7th. Does walk 1, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Ponte Vedra leaving 3 on. And the American Heritage Patriots at a Plantation, their 2nd state championship in baseball, the last in 2008, as they defeat Ponte Vedra tonight by a score of 9-0. 9 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for American Heritage. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Ponte Vedra. American Heritage celebrating on the field here at Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie, the 5A state championship. 2 state champions crowned today. Archbishop McCarthy out of Southwest Ranches in 6A. Plantation, American Heritage in 5A. So Broward County Schools 2 for 2 already in these state baseball championships. Well, Mark, it was a story of dominance pitching. Only allowed 1 hit, did American Heritage, and they also had 11 hits and 2 big innings tonight to get the win. They allowed no runs in 2 games also. They're going to win a lot of games, not allowing any runs. They allowed 3 hits, in fact.
Well, we saw the offense that we were lacking all day yesterday. Impressive performance at the plate by American Heritage Patriots from Plantation.
So there you see the 2 teams shaking each other's hands over on the third base side. Ponte Vedra's season ends at 21-9. 2nd state semifinal appearance in 3 years under Tom Stanton. Semifinalist in 2010, runner-up in 2012. American Heritage at 28-4 are the state champs in 5A. And American Heritage celebrating in the dugout. And again, in 2 games, they outscored their opponents 12-0. 3 runs in the 8th last night and 3 big home runs. A 3-run homer by Diaz in the 8th last night to break a scoreless tie. A grand slam in this game by Zach Collins in the 3rd that made it 5-0. And then a 2-run homer of Esteban Puerta in the 5th, which made it 7-0. And that put the game away as David Villar later had an RBI double. Dallas Perez an RBI single as well. In the 3rd and 5th innings, American Heritage combined for all 9 of their runs and 9 of their 11 hits. And Ponte Vedra had a leadoff single to walk in the first 2 runners reached base. Then they had only 2 more runners the rest of the game on 2 walks. So 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs for Alex Seabold, walked 2, struck out 5, and Brandon Diaz pitches the final inning, striking out 2 to finish it up. If you like a DVD of this state championship game for family, friends of the team, or even team members, be sure to go to FHSAAsports.com. That's FHSAAsports.com. Well, it's been a lot longer day than we realized. We had a 2-hour rain delay, but Mark will do it again tomorrow with the 7A and 8A semifinals.
We'll be back at it tomorrow.
This has been a production of Play On Sports and the FHSAA Network. For our whole crew here at Port St. Lucie and Mark Schambeck, my color commentator tonight, I'm Marty Palmer saying so long again. Congratulations to the American Heritage Patriots, the 5A state champions. They defeat Ponte Vedra 9-0. Stay tuned for the medal ceremony. So long now from Digital Domain Park in Port St. Lucie.